And I had this map that I was following, and on it there was a simple beginning. It began in China, and there were X's on my map. I knew where they'd been found in various places, and I had some sense of where they might go. The most intriguing being the Arctic, but I wanted to determine their origins as well as their destiny. Because just as we're connected to the rest of the world by currents and by winds, we're also connected by a chain of production, by more human kinds of currents. And it seemed to me that I'd always been at the receiving end of that chain, and I wanted to know what it was like at the other end. When I went, it was 2007, and you may remember there was, I think of it as the Great Chinese Toy Scare.
Absolutely.
First I thought, as from thinking as a reporter, that my timing was awful, because it was, if you're going to take the time to try to get into a Chinese factory, it seemed like a bad one. There was a great concern on the part of Chinese toy makers about the bad publicity. But as chances have it, I was able to find the exporter in Hong Kong who worked with the first year's company, who put me in touch with the manufacturer. And they needed some time. I think I was very much accompanied on my tour of the factory, but they took me to see it, and I got to see how they were made. And that story too, the toy scare, and even some of my other concerns about the conditions in Chinese factories, is a really complicated one, about who to blame and all the rest. I mean, we in America are very used to having affordable goods, and so in a way, we're dependent upon the conditions of those factories to have goods that, for many of us, are simply affordable. But and it's also true that the manufacturing boom on coastal China has elevated people out of poverty. So it's a complicated story to tell as well.
We're talking this hour with Donovan Hone. In 1992, 28,000 bath toys were lost at sea after a ship carrying them from Hong Kong to the United States hit rough seas. Donovan Hone's new book, Moby Duck, follows their journey from the factory to the beaches where they eventually washed up. I'm Jean Ferraca. You're listening to Here on Earth, Radio Without Borders, from Wisconsin Public Radio. We're at 1-877-GLOBE-07, 1-877-456-2307. Email address is hereonearth@wpr.org. Facebook and Twitter, you'll find us under Here on Earth Show. We have open lines, a chance for you to join in this conversation. Are you disheartened by what you're hearing about this incredible epic adventure that Donovan Hone took himself on? Is there something that can be done to staunch the terrible accumulation of trash that is trashing the oceans? And have you ever followed an object to its source and learned something about origin and destiny in the process? 1-877-GLOBE-07.
Lift your spirit and enrich your mind with Wisconsin